Magpie Carlsen opening the game here with pawn to e4. He's the world's number one. This is titillating Tuesday online blitz chess, and in this game we see hands down the greatest pawn push known to mankind as voted by these guys on the global chess committee. What does his opponent do? Alireza Firouzja, best dressed man in all of chess, he responds with pawn to c ships, a particular favourite of Fabiano Caruana's at the moment. So Magnus takes the centre with d4. Alireza fights back, and what's this? Magnus takes the exchange variation, almost falls asleep there for a long period of time, but thankfully jolts himself awake. Very boring, but fear not. The game explodes soon. Bishop d3 first, now knight c6. We see the advance of the c pawn, e6, and Magnus, breaking the rules now, plays bishop f4. Is he really the world's number one general manager, or a very naughty boy because you're supposed to develop your horses before the bishops? But he's ripping up the rule book here. Alireza knows the game though. Get those ones out first. They need to jab. They're not long range weapons, but why is he stuck it there in front of his bishop? Well, after knight f3, we're about to see, because he plays the very smelly pawn to f6, a move frowned upon by Lord Hans Feingold because you weaken the king. Watch how it comes back to bite, and this is the moment that Magnus plays the absolutely overpowered pawn h4, just ploughing it down the board there. The move that makes you want to lean back, pull a face like this when you play it on the board. It's truly epic. Knight g6 is now played, rotating, hitting that bishop. So Magnus drops it back here, and after bishop d6, very natural. Surely you take on d6, the most obvious move on the board, but no, Magnus flicks in this queen c2, pressuring the knight, and now you can no longer take here, or white's going to chuck in the Zwischenzug, the in-betweener, capture with check, then the queen can crash through with check, then you take back your bishop. No good. So Alireza burns 30 seconds here. This is what Magnus does so well by going with this knight. Technically moving it out the way is best, apparently, the knight on g6, but this was played covering given the question mark, and now Magnus again does not take on d6 but carries on with knight b to d2, offering this move if Alireza wants it. Again, how do we assess this? You stop the knight hopping forward. h5 is on the way. You can't do it yourself as black, or you drop a minor piece. It's uncomfortable. The Stockness monster doesn't care, says you can just go knight f8, play on, but not easy to assess that. So Alireza instead plays knight f4 immediately, very natural, but Magnus can now take. That one's a bit of a dragon. This one recaptures, and after he pushes back this bishop, we're going to see a pawn dropping off the board. Now you could take here and do something like this, but still this pawn is weak, and going g6 not ideal. You get a quick queenside castle and attack black in a serious manner. So instead, Alireza retains his bishop pair. He could have gone this way, but retreats back to this square. And now Magnus just finds this great move, not easy to see, of bishop takes on h7. And the reason it takes some calculation is, what if black goes f5, simply trapping the bishop, interrupting the connection? You can't go here or here. The knight's doing a great job. How are you extricating that bishop? Well, this is the follow-up. The excellent knight to g5, defending, but the deeper point being that after captures, suddenly your rook now defends, and g6 could be on the way. I mean, this is some serious depth of calculation in a blitz game played on like 10 seconds. Incredible chess. So Alireza assesses it the same, goes bishop d7, burns about 40 seconds, however, he's nearly a minute down. Magnus now drags that one back, he's a pawn to the good. Queen c7, and I love this moment. Both players pick up the monarch and castle queenside. Andrea starts spinning the beats. This is what we came for. It's exciting. Magnus brings this rook to the center of of the board and always play king b8, always play king b1, knight c6, spawns a new seahorse, very natural move. Magnus also rotates with his pony and he's looking to land on that weakened c5 square. Yes, you can go b6, but you weaken some light squares, so Alireza holds off. First pushes in the center, great move, threatening to go e4, win a minor piece, so Magnus goes bishop f5, getting that one out of dodge. Alireza pushes anyway, disrupting the connection, and that's why we see takes here. Queen recaptures, now this knight gets on its bike, saves itself, b6 now played to cover c5, but remember the light squared bishops just left the board, different kind of position, bit more justified as a move, and now apparently f3 best move, but missed by Magnus. He instead goes pawn to f4, trying to lock out this one, keep it in jail, and of course, you're itching to play en croissant. Why didn't Alireza do this? Well, it's actually good for Magnus, because after this knight takes back, you're still a pawn ahead as white, don't forget, and the file's now opened up for the rooks, which are first there, and in some lines, c4 is on the way. This knight supports the center, and that move starts to explode the position. Plus the light squares are weak, the isolated pawn for black, not ideal. So we run it back here. We didn't see captures like this. Instead, rook c8 played. You could have started with g5, but this is way sneakier. Going for knight b4, then knight d3, using the fact that this pawn is pinned, and so Magnus goes a3, covers the square before the pony can hop. We now see g5, trying to get that bishop out of jail. Magnus captures away from the center, usually a big no-no. After captures here, we see his point. He pushes with the outside passer, again looking to lock out that bishop if possible, and that's why we see g4 from Alireza, opening its eyes, freedom it yells, knight f1 maneuvering, looking to blockade that strong black pass pawn. That's what the knights do so well, and technically the best maneuver here is bringing a rook into this f3 square, but Alireza misses it, goes bishop g5, opens the rook to attack here. Magnus slides with queen e2, activating, and after rook takes here, given the question mark, not the best, now we see the rotation of knight h2. Excellent move. Again, better was to hold off capturing that one and look to bring a rook to the f-file here. Magnus is now winning this pawn. We see rook h3 going after this weak one. Magnus picks up, so does Alireza, but he picks up an initiative now. Magnus, that is, because he slams down rook g1. Forces these ones off the board, the master blaster hits the g-file, the bishop gives ground, and now after rook f1, Alireza goes wrong. He should cover with queen d6 or rook f8, although rook f8, horrible move to try and play, put yourself in a self-pin, not ideal. So Alireza drops all the way back to cover the king, but now knight e3 comes, blockading, pressuring the light squares and the weak backwards pawn. Knight e7 therefore covers, but Magnus gets the invasion going, absolutely kebabbing Alireza on the 7th rank. So he hits the rook, it slides to h7, and now a decisive mistake here, low on time. Bishop f4 is best, looking to eliminate this pesky pony, but rook f8 is played, given the miss, because Magnus now slides into the danger zone. And low on time, this is absolutely impossible to defend. The pawn is being attacked. There are ideas of running the a pawn. Also, you can jump with the knight to one of these squares while the king remains in the pin. There's a lot of tactical shots in the air. Alireza tries to hold things together with queen d6, but it's a mistake, because it allows Magnus to simply hop forward. Alireza should have just moved that king to a8, gotten out of the pin, and now with the monster check threatened on d7, we see the decisive mistake. Rook d8 was the best way to go, but then there's some amazing lines. This is the absolute best, checking like this, and after the king sidesteps here, you can even take on d5. How about this for an incredible line? Doesn't matter how you take, knight or queen. Let's say this one, well, bang, these are the follow-up lines. Queen takes here, you sacrifice to land the Arabian checkmate. Now that is something special. Imagine if we'd have seen that one. But it didn't happen. Rook d8 not played. Instead, we see Alireza scuttling away with his king here, but now check. This is simple gravy, because if you come back here, this is a checkmate, so not played. Alireza resigned in this position, and if you go here, well, there's this one. You simply pick up your knight and fork. Those king and queen are dead, and that's a decisive material loss. So Magnus takes down Alireza and takes home the championship. Titled Tuesday. What a player, getting the job done. Sorry about the echo today. Need to furnish this room. I've been kicked out of my cupboard under the stairs. This is my new abode, the attic upstairs. Hope you enjoyed anyway. Check out the video on screen for more septic cheese, and I hope to see you again soon. Cheers.